Well, this is a Fluke. This is the new Fluke anchor from SandSharkAnchors. There's a lot of pieces here to confuse me with. Welcome back to Smok'n Jay's Garage. You can probably feel a little bit of waves behind me here bouncing a little bit. That's all right. We have the brand new anchor from SandSharkAnchors. This is their Fluke anchor. Now, what is the difference between a Fluke and a Dansford? They're the same thing. Just different name for basically the same design. You saw it all come in parts. It was actually pretty easy to put together. You just take this piece, slide the, I don't know what you're gonna call this, the Fluke, right? Slide the Fluke into it. This bar goes through, remove that screw, put that screw back in, with obviously the handle in the middle. And this pin pops out. At the time of filming this, to my knowledge, this is the only extendable Fluke anchor on the market today. So we can fold it up, and it is going to not take up hardly any room. The downside, at least for me, is this bar here is not quite long enough to fit into my anchor locker in the anchor storage place. However, this is light. It is very good looking, and I bet you these are gonna really dig into the sand. So I have a sand bottom where I am right now. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna throw it in, we're gonna let it sit for a while, we're gonna make sure that we are not actually moving, and then we'll be back. We are also, as you can see, we have a fair amount of wind here, so we are gonna be putting a little bit of pressure on this anchor, see how well it holds with our 24-foot boat. I don't know if this was designed for a 24-foot boat at the time of filming this. This is not yet on their website. So I don't know what they rate it for as far as weight, but now Fluke or Danford type anchors are designed to be set with a chain. The chain holds it down, the weight of the chain, so that as you pull across the sand bottom, it actually digs into it. If you just pull from an upward position, it's never going to set. I did not have a chain for this one, so it took a little bit of finesse to get it to set, but I believe it did. We have it holding. Just in case, I do have my Danford still in here in case it lets go, because we are pretty close to shore. But as you can see, I let out a little bit more rope on that, so we aren't going to pull on that at all if it holds. And I went ahead and zoomed in over here, and I've got my little crumb trail on, so we'll get a pink line if we move. We are in 3.2 feet of water underneath the boat. We draw about 1.5 feet, 18 inches roughly. So we are sitting in about 3.5, 4.5, just not quite 5 feet of water right now. So I let out typically between double and triple the amount of rope that we are deep. So I have out, I didn't actually measure it, I've got a 30-foot rope, and I've got a little bit over half of it out. So I've got probably about 15-ish by the time I took into consideration the amount that I took to tie a knot. So we're gonna see how it holds. It's only been a few minutes, 10 minutes or so. Right now we're still holding good. In the meantime, let's go terrorize some kids. All right, it's been an hour roughly, maybe a little more than an hour. We went out, we did some swimming, we terrorized the children with the Grinch costume. We're gonna do some more of that later. We are still holding, as you can see, the rope for my Danford. My other anchor is still loose. we are holding here with the SandShark anchor. I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. We're going to take a look at it, see if we scratched it up or whatever. But we are in good shape. It's holding. Wind speed right now is between 13 and 15 knots, so it is not like big waves kind of a thing. I know some people maybe your only option to anchor is in 2 or 3 foot waves. Obviously we didn't test it in conditions like that. Anything rougher than this I don't really like to anchor in typically, because when you're on the back of the boat you're just chilling. It's just not pleasant. Those 2 or 3 foot waves, I don't chill in weather like that personally, because you're on the back of the boat, you're trying to have fun, maybe you're swimming with the kids, whatever. It's not fun for me. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna pull it out and we'll take a look at it. Compared to my normal anchor, which weighs probably about 10 pounds or so, this one is super light when you pull it out of the water. And again, we don't have a chain on here. We really should have a chain. That's what sets these anchors. But this is super easy. The sand that gets caught up in here is super easy to just shake away easily with one hand. Well, it held us good. It looks good. I like the fact that it is light. That was actually really easy to pull up. Weight is not so important on an anchor that sets. Now, as you're pulling this is just gonna drag like this and dig into the sand. Having a chain on the end here is gonna help this stay down rather than, you know, pulling it up. It's gonna help this stay down and drag along the bottom. As this drags straight, this is gonna really dig. That's what really gets you your good set in there. I do not have, I don't have these, but SandShark does offer these little weighted sharks. I don't have them. And I don't know if they're on their own rope or if they clip onto your existing rope, but they're weighted, and there's a couple of them. I think those would probably work really good on this. They are then plastic coated so they don't ding the side of your boat like a chain potentially will. When I pull my normal anchor up, I always have to be real careful so that I hold on to the anchor and the chain so that nothing hits the boat and ends up scratching it or scraping it or whatever. But this anchor held very well. I was pretty impressed. It's a very small, very light anchor. We have a decent sized boat, and we have relatively windy conditions. So it held very well. For about an hour that we tested it, it was good to go. I'd like to get a chain on there because then it would definitely be a lot easier to set. I did have to finesse a little bit to get it to set without pulling it up because there was nothing weighting it down to drag it across the bottom, but worked out very well. If you're looking for an anchor, this might be a very good option for you. Check it out, SandSharkAnchor.com. At the time of filming this, they are not on their website, but by the time you see it, they probably will be, or very shortly thereafter. You can usually check out their products on Amazon as well. Just search SandShark in the search section. Say that fast 5 times. If you watch this channel for the first time and you haven't already, and you want to, boom, please subscribe.